Welcome to Stories I Didn't Get to Tell Last Sunday. Hey, I'm Doug McAllister, lead pastor at Journey Fellowship Church, and this is our weekly podcast, and I'm so happy you joined us today. With us is my daughter, Christian Rhoto, and Chris, welcome aboard.
Hi, it's good to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. Now,
Yes.
Christian, not only are you my daughter, but you're also on the creative team at Journey. You coordinate worship and social media, and you produce our JTV and all kinds of other things.
Stuff.
So you're involved in a whole lot of stuff. So I want you to come today. We're going to talk about worship. We're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about some of the stories of growing up as a preacher's daughter and when you went to Bible college and some of the trips you've taken. So I just want to have a nice conversation with you, and thanks for making time to come over.
I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks
So I want to open up with this story. So when you were a little girl, maybe 10 or 11, I don't remember exactly. Do you remember how old you were when you came to me with the China thing?
I think I might have been actually younger. I think I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's about right. You're right.
It's 8 or 9.
Yeah, so when you were around 8 years old, so I was in the living room one morning and I was reading the newspaper. Remember when they made newspapers?
Yeah. What's the newspaper?
That's an ancient technology. Nobody reads newspapers anymore. Yeah. But anyway, I was reading the paper and you walked up to me in your little 8-year-old self and you tapped on the paper, and I was like, "What's up, Chris?" You said, "Dad, I want to tell you something." "What?" And she said, "Well, Jesus told me," so you had my attention right away. "Jesus told me that I'm going to China."
Yeah, he did.
And I was just...
I know.
Speechless.
I can't even fathom that. Like, as a mom now, if Evie came and told me that, I'd be like...
Yeah.
What?
I'm going to China. So I told your mom later that day, and your mom said, "Oh, no, she's not." That's
what I would say.
"Oh, no, she's not going to China." But you did.
I did.
You grew up and went.
You know, I remember when I was playing upstairs.
Yeah.
I was playing Barbies or something, and I just remember in my spirit, I felt the Lord speak to me, and and I just knew. I was like, "Oh, it's Jesus talking," and I just thought everyone felt that.
Everyone can.
Clearly.
And everyone should.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were so certain of it. You didn't say, I think. You said, "Jesus told me." And, you know, it's interesting how children can hear from the Lord so clearly.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it was just like I was talking to you. Like, I just,
everybody can talk to God.
Yeah.
He
everybody
talks back.
can. Yeah. It's just you have to have that,
What a great life to
faith.
Be able to be in fellowship with God and to know when he speaks to you.
Yeah.
And you know it's distinct. When the Lord speaks to you from all the other voices in the world, it's just so clear.
It's so clear. It's so peaceful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how peace always attaches to the word of the Lord? It just, you just know. And it's like a knowing.
Yeah.
You know that you know that you know.
It's just like, I have blonde hair and blue eyes.
Right.
Or
it's just,
that plant is green. You just know. Oh, yeah, that's it.
like that clock says 2:27.
Yes, it does.
It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and so you walked up to me and you were so certain of it. You didn't say, "Can I go?" or "Do you think this is God?" You just said, "Jesus told me I'm going to China."
Yeah.
And then as quick as you said it, you turned around and walked off.
Let's go play Barbies again.
Yeah, back to your business. I'm like, wow, you dropped a ton of bricks on your dad, you know, and you're going to go to China. So thank God you were only 8 years old, so it would be a decade before it came to pass. But you grew up and you went to Bible college.
I did.
You were, of our 5 kids, you moved the farthest away.
Yeah.
You know, your first semester, we dropped you off in Springfield, Missouri.
Yep.
Yeah.
At James River.
Yeah. That was a hard day.
Yeah, it was.
We took a family road trip. We all went. I think even Ryan went with us.
I think so, yeah.
Because he drove us back, I think. Or
he picked us up,
Picked us up, that's right, yeah. So anyway, we all went, and you had orientation, and then, so I wanted to stay around, you know, and take you out to eat and buy you a T-shirt, and none of that happened. They put you on a bus with all the incoming freshmen.
I forgot about that. Oh my
drove
gosh.
Off. And I told, we were all sitting in the van, me and Mom and the other 3 or 4 kids, whoever was with us that day. And you were in the bus, and I saw your head in the window, and you were waving at us. I said, "Rachel," I said, "I'm not done. There's so much I want to tell her."
Oh, Dad. Oh, my God.
Tell her to watch when she crossed the road. Tell her to brush her teeth. Tell her don't hang out with weird boys.
Yeah.
There was so much I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
But it was probably a really good system.
Yeah.
Because they immediately created separation.
Yeah.
You know, and they took y'all to what's that, a 3-day retreat?
Yeah, they took us to like this like camp, like
Yeah.
where we had bonding,
Yeah.
you know, that kind
so
of thing.
with all the other freshmen,
Yeah.
you were incoming freshmen. So that was your drop off day.
It's like a Band-Aid, just rip it off. It's
quite emotional, man.
Yeah.
My 18-year-old daughter is.
It's hard.
He's been under my roof and with me for every moment of
Yeah.
her life, and now she's gonna. You were 11 hours.
Yeah,
from
and
us.
through like no interstates, like you had to go through backwoods to.
I mean, to
get
get
there.
from Louisiana to Springfield,
It's
to get from
like-
Slidell to Springfield, Missouri. Once you leave Louisiana,
It's just all back roads.
Arkansas
Yeah.
to Missouri is all back roads.
Yeah.
You know, if
At least
there's
it was, 10 years ago.
It probably still is. I
Yeah.
don't know if there's any north-south interstates that goes across Arkansas into Springfield.
Yeah.
There's other interstates going other directions, but none in the way we needed to go.
Yeah.
So it was just like a long road trip, and so that was a long drive home.
I bet.
It was a long drive home. Is she okay? Does she need anything? But you were always so independent
Yeah.
and so strong-willed. Your mom was always the voice of reason. Doug, she's fine.
Yeah.
We've taught her everything she needs to know.
Yeah.
She's good. Take us home. Man, good thing Mom was there. I probably would have followed the bus.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to join the yellow team.
All right, I'm going to follow the bus to the camp. No, Mom said, turn it, go the other way.
Yeah.
She's fine. She's an adult. Let her be a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pivotal year in your life.
It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I stayed in Missouri for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it was just so cold.
You did
and
2 semesters there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and first time they ever live in ice and snow.
Yeah, it was, and
Remember
just
that you called home and
so
said
cold.
that your car had a spin out
Yes.
on the highway?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's scary.
So I'm listening to Mom. You know how when people get phone calls, you only hear half the conversation?
Yeah, and then you're like,
I'm like, what's going on? Mom kept going, stop. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's happening? Well, Christian, you spun out. Okay. I'm like, oh my God, she spun out. She flipped the car. She's dead.
yeah, I'm calling you from heaven.
Calling you from heaven. Yeah. She's fine.
Yeah.
But you were driving along the icy road.
Yeah, it was just,
And you hit some black ice. And you spun around a couple
yeah,
times.
it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I forgot about it. So
Yeah.
until you said
We're-
that, yeah.
Remember, you needed a car. to
Oh,
go.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Man, this is one of those things that only the Lord could provide.
Yeah.
So you were going 11 hours away,
Yep.
and you were going to a school where you would be a commuter because your housing was in an apartment.
Yes.
You had to drive to the campus, so you needed a car. And so Mom and I were trying to figure out to buy you a car. And you came to me and you said, Dad, I prayed and Jesus is going to give me a car. My thought was, Christian, that's pie in the sky. That's stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope it happened. I didn't want to shoot you down, but
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of faith to believe
Yeah.
that God was going to give you a car.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to scrape up the money to buy you a car.
Yeah. And
So
I think I had a couple thousand saved, but that was for like
Right.
food
Right.
and
We needed that for
gas,
your living expense
for 6 months. So
Yep. So we paid your tuition and we got you moved there, and you had some money saved up to live on, but
Yeah.
you didn't have a car.
yeah,
So was it a few weeks or a few months before you left?
it was a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little
because I was
bit.
in the parking lot one day at the church. It was Sunday morning. A man walked up to me that we didn't know very well.
Yeah.
You know, he'd been coming to our church, but we weren't friends to him. And he walked up to him and he said, I would like to give Christian a car. And when he said it, my jaw dropped. Because I'm thinking, this guy doesn't know us. He doesn't
Yeah.
know Christian needs a car.
Yeah, and that,
We didn't tell anybody. We didn't make an announcement.
Nope.
We didn't even tell our friends.
no.
We're just trying to take care of it ourselves,
Yeah.
like we always do. And this man, a church attender, but not a close friend. I think God wants me to give Christian a car. So I said, "Wow, that is amazing." So I brought him to you,
Yeah.
and he told you, I said, "Christian, you're not going to believe this," and he gave you a car,
Yeah, that's crazy.
debt free.
Yeah,
He gave you the keys and had the title transferred to your name. And I was just amazed at the goodness of God,
yeah,
but also amazed that you just prayed and believed like it was going to happen,
Yeah.
and it did. And that's the car you spun out in.
that's the car. But hey, that car lasted for a very long time.
Remember the time your windshield wipers went out and you called me from Missouri?
Oh my god.
You said, Dad, my windshield wipers won't come on anymore. So we called a mechanic shop.
Yeah,
and
Elvin.
Yeah, Elvin's mechanic. That's right. That's who it was.
Yeah.
So I found this old independent mechanic
Yes.
named Elvin. He had
Yeah.
like a shop at his house or something.
Exactly.
And I told him my story,
Yeah.
and he said, "Oh, Mr. McAllister, don't worry. I'm going to take care of Christian." And I was thinking, "Oh my God, that is, small
Yeah.
town people are just
So
like
nice.
that,
Like so many people were like that.
And he
in
said this
Missouri.
is, I'm going to treat her like my daughter.
Oh,
I know, that's sweet.
that's so sweet. He was really nice.
I know.
I pulled up and I was like, where am I? Like, where did my dad send me to?
It's totally
it's very
throwing a dart in the dark.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, but that guy was so nice.
Yeah,
so,
I think it was just like a fuse or something. That
Yeah, it was a fuse, exactly.
He fixed it for a couple of dollars.
For like $2 or $3.
I know.
He just basically just gave me the fuse.
So
he said he popped open the thing. He said, "Oh, here's your problem." He just changed the fuse. He said, "Okay, you're done."
It's $2 for the fuse. He didn't charge you labor even. But he said, "I'm going to treat her like my daughter."
He was a really sweet guy.
Yeah, it was so,
when you pulled up, it looked like Sanford and Son.
Yeah,
like, there's car parts everywhere. I'm like,
told me that.
What is
it's just a home.
place?
I think we call those guys shade tree mechanics.
Yeah,
they just have their own business in their yard, and he's the kind of guy that's just a salt of the earth.
Oh, for sure.
Just a good man.
Just some random guy called him, said, "Hey, my
a
daughter,
stranger from another state,
is up in there. Can you help her?" Oh yeah,
sure, I'll take care of it.
Really
I found him, I
nice.
think, in the Yellow Pages.
Oh my gosh,
how long ago it was.
Reading the Yellow Pages in the newspaper.
How old am I? 1,000 years
How
old.
am I?
Yeah, but that was such a great story. But after the second semester, you came home.
Yeah.
Remember that road trip coming home?
Yeah, me, you, and Ryan.
Yeah, we drove all night
Yep.
long. Oh my
And we
God.
stopped somewhere in Arkansas and stayed at a little bitty hotel.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
4 rooms.
I drove until I couldn't hold my eyes
Yeah.
open anymore. It's like I can't drive anymore.
Just all the curves and the
Oh, yeah.
mountains and
It's like unending.
It's just
like
never
a
ending.
Twilight Zone episode.
yeah.
It's like
And then we ate Lambert's. Remember, right before we left,
Lambert's.
we ate Lambert. You're like, let's go to Lambert's before we make this 12-hour.
Why would you load up on carbs?
I don't know. It was good though. It was pretty good.
We carved up for the road
Yeah.
trip.
It was good. Yeah.
We made it home. So after that, you kind of you told Mom that I really don't want to live in the snow. I want to transfer.
Yeah, it was hard after
Yeah.
spinning out and it was so cold.
Cold
Just,
all the time.
you come from here and it's hot.
South
all the
Louisiana,
time.
it never snows. Once every 10 or 15 years, we see a little snow.
And it was just so much snow.
And there it snowed every day, all the
It was
time, for months
cold.
on end.
Yeah. So it was a good. I'm glad I went because I made
Yeah.
a lot of good connections,
You
people
did.
that I still know today, and
Yeah.
And
we have a dog today because of your trip up there, because of the family
Yeah.
you were. That was
That was-
Alabama.
that's
Oh,
Alabama.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, let's transition to that then.
Yeah.
To Alabama. So you left.
left.
You left James River Leadership, and then you went over to Highlands.
So I stayed in Slidell for a little bit and worked, and try to figure out what's my next move. What am I going to do?
Right.
I don't want to,
Right.
I want to continue my education.
Right.
I want to be in ministry hopefully one day, and
Yeah.
I was just not hopeless, but I was just kind of
Discouraged.
didn't know, discouraged.
You were
Yeah.
discouraged.
And y'all went to Highlands for a retreat.
We did.
Yeah.
I think the Grow Conference or
Yeah.
something. We were there. I can't remember exactly what
Something
it was.
like that. I think it was Grow. And
or one of their deals.
And Lane Strands came up to you and he was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, do you have a daughter?"
Yeah.
And you were like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, she should be in Highlands College."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or something like that.
Yeah, we were sitting in the auditorium, and one of the pastors talked about
Yeah,
their
that was it.
24/7 discipleship, and then we talked to is it Lane?
Lane, yeah.
Later
Pastor
on,
Lane,
he
yeah.
recruited you. He
Yeah.
wanted you to come.
He was so kind to me.
So
like,
mom texted you and said, "Christian, do you want to go to Birmingham?"
I said, "Sure." I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
you're like, yeah.
Sure.
When do I leave?
Yeah.
I think the next semester started in a couple weeks.
Yeah, y'all were in there I think July and it started in August.
Yeah, so you filled out the application right then.
Yep.
And within 2 weeks you were moving.
I was going.
I know you were there.
Yeah. I was so just eager to find something, to do.
Wait, that call was on you, and I
Yeah.
think you just couldn't rest. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
I was like,
it's here.
Yeah.
I just I can't shake this.
Yeah.
So you went to Birmingham for
Yeah.
2 years, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 years.
And you finished, and that's when 24/7 became Highlands
Yeah, it
College.
was right in the transition. Yeah.
You went right into a good time.
Really
man.
was. Like
'Cause
it was small.
Yeah, it was a
and-
little school. You had you knew Lane personally, and Brielle took you
yeah.
under her wing, and
Yeah,
she
she
was
really did. Yeah.
man, and you just really hit a zone with
Yeah.
the favor of God.
I really
and
did.
Got to go to all their campuses,
did.
and you got to serve on their media team and their.
I learned so much just about the back end of everything, like
Yeah.
how to lead people and
Yeah.
how to,
Yeah.
why decisions are made certain ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
you
just
got to see the inner workings
Yeah.
of a church, and
Yeah.
plus you got to do event planning.
yeah,
You guys did some big
we
events, man.
did. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Y'all would move in truckloads
Yeah.
of stuff and organize it to order stuff and
Yeah.
prepare,
Yeah.
all of the equipment and to transport all the people.
We did.
Yeah, that
And
was some great experience.
One time we went all the way to Gateway.
Yeah.
So I had to organize all the stuff we were bringing.
Oh my gosh.
Organize all the people, all the food.
Yeah.
Because by that time, I think we had like 30 or 40 students. That was the second year.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of pressure because I was like, I don't want to forget anything. I did of course I forgot Gateway asked us to bring like walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
And so I borrowed some from the security.
Yeah.
And they're like, please don't lose these. I was like, I promise I won't lose them. I totally left them at Gateway.
We still have them.
Oh yeah, they're like, where do we get these walkie-talkies from?
We got some donated from Highlands.
Yeah. Oh, I felt so bad. I think I went home and cried. I was like, I cannot believe I forgot those walkie-talkies.
Did you tell the security guy you left them? What did he say?
He's like, it's okay, don't worry about it. I was like, I was so under so much pressure. Like,
after all
don't
that
lose this.
pressure,
He's like, don't worry about it. We have more. I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
We'll
thank
order
you
some
for
more.
your grace. Because
that's so good.
I mean, looking back, I was like a 20-year-old kid trying to.
Yeah. And you forgot
Keep
of
it
all the
together.
truckloads of stuff, you forgot the one thing you said, don't forget.
Don't forget this.
That's so great.
But
Yeah. And then they took you guys on an outreach.
we did,
Yeah. You had to go to an international
We
outreach.
did. That's part of the program.
Yeah. So before you graduated, tell us where you went.
We went to Nepal,
I know.
which borders China.
I know it.
Crazy.
So here we are from the eight-year-old girl to now
Yeah.
you're 20, almost
Yeah.
21. Mm-hmm. And that word of God finally comes to
Yeah.
pass. You know, and sometimes that's how God's word is.
Yeah.
It comes to you this year, but it may be 10 or 15
Yeah.
years before it happens.
It's true.
And there you are. So you guys took a plane across to the other side of the world.
Yeah.
And did y'all leave Birmingham
Yes.
and you went to New York, or did y'all go toward the West Coast?
I think we went. I don't remember where we stopped. It was one of the East Coast cities, like big international
Probably
airports.
New York. I think it flies out of New York,
Maybe,
but I'm
yeah.
not sure. Yeah.
It was New York, and then we stopped over in Qatar,
Yeah.
and then we went to
So you had one layover, probably refuel.
yeah.
Yeah.
In Qatar, we had a 13-hour layover.
Wow. What'd y'all do there?
We just stayed in the airport.
Or the whole
yeah,
time?
it was. I have a picture,
Yeah.
and it's like all of the students. We're all just laying on the ground.
Yeah.
But we're all matching.
In the airport?
Very clearly American, like matching
with matching
hoodies,
t-shirts on.
and backbackpackks, and all that kind
they're
of
from America. Yeah.
And,
some people call it Qatar. Some people call it
is it?
Qatar.
Oh, yeah. I don't
Well,
remember.
I've heard it called both. I don't
Yeah.
know which, but that's where you were.
Yeah. And then we
on the floor in the airport.
Yeah, on the floor in the airport. And then I remember, I think they're Hindu and that. Yeah. So
well, I think
they're not?
I think it's Muslim.
Muslim.
I believe it.
Okay.
Is. Yeah, I could be wrong.
Well, then it must have been on the way back.
Yeah.
We stopped at a McDonald's. They had McDonald's in the airport.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy to see what they eat in McDonald's in different
know.
countries.
Yeah,
like
they have a very unique
Yeah.
menu for every culture.
Everything's
McDonald's
different.
is amazing, man.
and I don't know why that stuck out in my mind.
Yeah.
But I just remember being like, oh my God, they don't even have like burgers. They had like different.
I'm always amazed at McDonald's because it's a 25,000 restaurants.
Yeah.
And you can get a meal anywhere in the world for $5.
Anywhere. Yeah.
That's a pretty amazing thing. I'm not saying it's good food.
No, but
I'm
it's-
telling you, you can eat at McDonald's.
like,
yeah,
hey,
it's $5.
I know what I'm getting here.
know,
like
right? Yeah, but the shake machine always broken.
Broken, yes.
Do any of them ever work at McDonald's?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I never ordered a shake from McDonald's and
Yeah,
actually got
like-
one, unless it's a Shamrock shake.
Yes.
And that one works.
They make sure it works.
That one
these
for
days.
that month. Yeah,
turn
and the
them off.
McRib's coming back too.
Oh, really?
You heard that?
No.
I'm excited about it.
I've never had a McRib. Is it Doug and
Apparently it's a
Carrie?
big deal. People
Doug
love
and
the McRib.
Carrie.
Yeah.
I think that's why I heard about a McRib.
Yeah, right.
What's that show?
So anyway, y'all stopped in,
Yeah.
in Qatar, and you had a 13-hour. That's a long time in an airport, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time to lay on those hard floors. But
was
they have a
real.
nice airport.
It was a nice
It's
airport.
world class,
Yeah,
man.
it was
Yeah.
really nice.
And then from there, you went all the way to
Nepal.
Nepal.
Yeah.
What's the capital of Nepal?
Kathmandu.
So you
yeah.
went to Kathmandu,
Yep.
right? Which
we
is a
did.
very exotic name for
Crazy.
for a city.
Yeah.
I mean, Kathmandu.
Kathmandu. And
Yeah.
the whole point we were going there was we were joining a ministry that goes out into the villages in the Himalayas, and
Yeah.
they help protect their children, because
Yeah.
a lot of human traffickers will go up there and say, hey,
And
we're
steal
going to take
children.
your kids
Yeah.
to go get educated in
Right.
the city, and then they never see their kids again.
Oh,
Or we're going
God.
to take your kids to
Yeah.
and they trust them because
Yeah.
like they want better for their kids,
Right.
because
They
they're
want to get
living
an education.
in
So
a
human
hard
trafficking
condition.
is,
So it's pretty big
I know it.
in Kathmandu, and well,
Heartbreaking.
across the world. But
Yeah.
but that was where we experienced it. Anyway, so
So
we
they go up into the villages in Nepal.
Yes.
In the Himalayas.
in the Himalayas, yeah.
Right, right.
And so we couldn't do that immediately. We had to adjust to the climate.
Yeah.
So we had to stay in Kathmandu for a week.
Because it's so high up.
It's so high.
Yeah.
It was already high just in the city.
Hard to breathe.
Not really. Not that I remember. I mean, when we were hiking, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't have any elevation sickness or anything.
So when you were in Kathmandu, when did you do the taxi ride? First or last?
That was the first thing we did.
So tell us about that experience.
Yeah. So I don't know if I would have chosen to do this, but
I'm glad I didn't know that you were doing it.
They were like, "Hey, you're gonna get to know the city."
Yeah.
And
that's your leaders at the school.
These are like the school leaders, like the people that are in charge of the ministry. So they're like, "You're gonna get to know Kathmandu. It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be a culture experience.
You get to see the city.
Like, great, you're gonna take us on a tour or something."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, you're gonna pick teams and you're gonna do a scavenger hunt."
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, "Okay, so one of y'all are gonna go with us."
Yeah.
No. Okay, so you're gonna send out 3 people who don't speak Nepalese.
Nepalese, yeah.
Yeah. So it was me, Brielle, and this guy Charlie, and I strategically picked these people. I was like, Charlie had like traveled. He was like already a world traveler, missionary guy. I think he lives in Kathmandu now.
Oh wow.
And then Brielle was in charge of everything. So I'm like, well, I'm sticking with her.
Well, your mama raised you right.
I'm not going. And so anyway, I think we actually won.
Yeah. Did y'all really?
Yeah. So
what did y'all do?
So they gave us like different clues to open. Like we had to go see this big, what is those things called? Like they're like, it's a statue, but they worship it.
Yeah, an idol.
An idol. They had to go see this big idol, like and different like monkey temples and different things.
So
to go
landmarks across Kathmandu. Got it.
But we had to figure out what it was.
Yeah.
And when we were done, we had to get a taxi home.
Oh my gosh.
Which nobody can speak English, and we couldn't speak Nepalese.
How big is Kathmandu?
It was huge. I don't know. It was huge though.
Probably.
Oh my gosh. There's people everywhere.
Yeah.
Just
so you got to get into a
like
taxi.
New York City. So we have to get a taxi.
And you don't speak the language.
So we're trying to tell him where to go.
Oh my goodness.
And he's like, I don't know what you're saying. And so this random guy walks by.
Oh my
he's like, I speak English. And,
sure, of course he does.
And he's like, and he starts talking he's like, where do y'all want to go? And he starts talking to the guy in Nepalese. I'm like, Brielle, he could like be telling us to like go bring us to the murder house or something. I don't know. Like, how do we?
It's a house set aside for murder.
Yes, exactly. I don't know. I was like, well, here, I guess I'm going to die today.
It's been a great trip.
I thank God. I mean, they brought us to the house.
Oh
but the guy was he's kind of mean looking. And so that kind of like.
The taxi driver or the stranger?
Both.
Oh, both.
But the stranger was especially mean looking. So I was like, oh gosh, like I hope this is going to be okay. I remember praying the whole way there.
Well,
like,
at least if you can die, you have Brielle and Charlie with you. Yeah, you can all die together. Yeah.
I think maybe Charlie could fight him off and me Brielle could run away.
Fight him off. He's been a world traveler. He knows how to fight.
God. Yeah, but that was as scary as it was at the end. It was such a good experience to see.
Kathmandu.
You know,
had I known you were in that taxi with that strange guy, I don't know, Christian, I wouldn't have slept.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was oblivious.
It was pretty scary.
Yeah. So then y'all had you want to say something else before?
Oh, no. I was just going to say, we went to the temples where these people worship. Right. And it was just crazy to see a different culture of religion, like see how people. And
is
it was
Nepal Hindu? I don't know what they are.
I think it's Hindu. Yeah. Because because every street corner has a different idol that people can pray to and offer stuff. And I remember going to one temple and just it being so dark, like the darkness it's just crazy. And people were just giving everything they could, and it was almost like a spinning wheel, like it was never enough.
Man.
Anyway, it was just that changed my perspective on the world to other religions, like how sad and how much hope they want, you know.
People are looking for hope, man. They're looking for light.
Do anything.
And Paul, when he was at the Acropolis, he was among all the idols. Yeah. And he found one called the Unknown God, and he preached Jesus.
Wow.
I know his name.
So good.
The Unknown God. So there's so much darkness. People looking for hope. Yeah. Looking for light. You know. So guys, once you got acclimated to the climate, then you guys had to hike up the mountain.
Then we hiked up. So we acclimated, and then we hiked up, and it's like imagine just doing a stair stepper and never stopping. Yeah. It's just no matter how far you go up, you just keep going up.
For miles.
For miles and miles and hours and hours a day. We just kept walking up and up and up and up.
Was it you and me and Cade that hiked up the chimney hike? The chimney tops?
That was you and Gabby and Cade.
Oh my gosh. And that was only like 2 or 3 miles.
Yeah.
You guys went for dozens of miles.
Hours. And we would stop and,
Did you make camp or you just walk the whole time?
We'd stop in these little like hotels. Yeah. So they were like hotels, but they were just very small. Yeah. Like
so like a hostel.
Kind of, yeah. Like I remember one hotel we stayed in. You could see this cracks. People could see in through the door.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Not a lot of privacy. Yeah.
No, and the thing that got me was every time we would stop, they'd say, "Don't forget to lock your door."
Oh my gosh.
Me and
well, thanks for the warning.
Like my friend Chelsea and Sarah were just like, "Is the door locked?" Okay, the door's locked.
Oh, that's so scary.
It's crazy.
So you're on top of a mountain in a hotel where you can see through the doors.
Yes.
And you're having to lock it at night.
Lock it at night just to have some sense of private, security.
Not like it's going to keep anybody out. Yeah, it's not like it's a strong door.
Crazy, but the people there that we met we would hand out tracts like from the 80s.
Wow.
And they said that is the biggest rate of conversion is people will read a tract and they'll get converted.
Isn't that amazing? How God still uses tracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the first times I ever heard the gospel. My mom had a flat on the interstate, and we were on the side of I-12 trying to change a tire, and a black preacher came up behind us in a big Cadillac, and he got out still wearing his church clothes. He got out, and he changed the tire for my mom because I couldn't break the lugs.
Yeah.
It was too tight. And when he got done, he dusted it off his hands, and he said, "Can I give you something?" And he gave my mom a tract.
Oh my gosh.
And she said, "I want you to know God loves you."
Oh my
First time I ever heard that.
Wow.
Yeah. We got home that day. My mom went inside, and I stayed in the truck, and I read that tract.
Wow.
First time I ever heard the gospel.
Wow.
So it's interesting. There you are in
in
Kathmandu passing out tracts.
Yeah.
People getting saved on tracts.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Literally the same exact tracts from the 80s.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
How many days did you hike up into the Himalayas?
Well, we hiked for like 7 days.
So,
which is weird. We never stopped hiking up. It's like when we started, we were down, and then when we ended, we were still hiking up. Like we never went down.
Oh my word!
Crazy. Yeah. And I want to go see where we hiked because I remember some of the names of the villages.
Yeah.
But I want to see like how far we actually went because we probably didn't go very far.
Well, Nepal borders China.
Yeah.
So literally, you were looking into China. Christian. The word the Lord spoke to you.
I know. It's crazy.
He took you there.
Yeah, he did.
And what did you do when you got to the village?
We would so every night at the village they would have like a fire and they would eat together or they would play games. You know, so they were all like every single night.
Pit thing?
Yeah. Oh, and not everybody in the village came, but it was like whoever wanted to come.
Yeah.
And so we would be a part of that. They would like the kids would dance and show us like this is what we do for fun and this is
what did they eat? I'm always interested in what they ate.
I'm trying to think what they ate.
One of my favorite questions.
They ate a lot of like flatbread and rice and like I think chicken maybe.
Man.
I don't really remember. I don't remember eating much.
Yeah.
Like because I don't think I think I don't even because we were just hiking so much and so your body's just like on adrenaline like get to the next place. You know. One time we were hiking and this lady was at the end of the town and you could tell like she wasn't kind and maybe she might have had a mental illness or something.
Right.
And so we said, hey, we need to get to this town, but the road is closed. Is there a different way? Mm-hmm. Or something like that. And she said, well, pay me. I'll tell you how to do it. And he said, well, I don't have any money to pay you because you're not supposed to give money to these the people that, you know.
Strangers.
Yeah. And she said, okay, well, if you don't have money, then go this way. And so he's like, well, I don't have another option. Like I have to go this way. Yeah. So we went that way and she sent us through, it was a rainy part of the jungle with no path. So we're hiking for like an hour or two.
Oh my God.
With no path. And
she sent you the wrong way on purpose.
Yeah, because we didn't give her money.
Oh my gosh.
And she sent us through, it's called leech country. And so there's leeches like everywhere. And we didn't know that.
This is like an Indiana Jones movie now.
It's ridiculous. And it really was. It was like through jungles and like just barely carved out paths. And so everyone was looking down. We kept seeing leeches on the ground. Like, that's weird. Yeah. And the other girls kept saying, oh my, and they kept like kicking it off. And at that point I was like, just get me to the next place because I'm going to like lose it.
Yeah.
And so when we sat down,
lose my mind.
Oh, when he decided like, hey, I think this is the wrong way.
Yeah.
We started going back the other way. And when that happened, my friend Sarah had fallen off the mountain, and she only got caught. She like, before she fell, she like caught herself with her hands on the mountain. So she's like dangling on this mountain, and the guy, she's like 5 foot nothing, and she's like 100 pounds. So the guy grabbed her arm and like slung her up,
Lord
like
Jesus.
as soon as they could, and she was just muddy, and it was raining, and it was just the craziest experience. It was like something you see in a movie. It didn't even feel real.
So she could have died up there.
Oh, she could have fallen off the mountain. Like the grace of God saved her. Like,
oh my God.
and so we turned around and we stopped, and it's like not raining anymore. I take my shoes off, and my feet are just covered in leeches. Yes. And my favorite part of the story is you're not supposed to pull them off. You're supposed to put salt on them. Right. And nobody had salt.
Nobody brought their salt.
Yeah, nobody brought salt. But my friend brought a packet of Tony Sashers. And so everybody
Louisiana comes to the rescue.
Everybody else was like throwing off their leeches, like picking them off. And me and the guys, because it was me and 3 guys and 2 girls. And they were like, I guess they didn't feel them either. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I had so many. Anyway, so they sprinkled the Tony Sashers all over our feet.
That's so great.
I think.
What a great Cajun story.
Like, I have just 50 leeches just falling off.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
Christian, that's like a nightmare.
It's almost like a dream thinking about it. Like it was a dream that I had.
Yeah.
So when we walked back, we passed that lady and she was laughing at us because we were muddy and we were soaking wet.
She didn't even care.
She didn't even care. And so we went back, and then we found somebody else, and they told us the way to go. It's crazy.
What a story.
It's crazy.
We sent y'all through leech country.
Yeah.
Man.
It's an experience.
Yeah. You finally get to the village, your destination.
Yeah.
What did y'all do there?
We passed out tracks.
Yeah.
And then we went to homes and was telling people like, hey, it was kind of hard because you'd have to tell them like, we have a school that is good and we will help your kids. But if anybody else comes, don't send them to your school, school, because they might take them.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to describe it to these parents. Like, well, who do I trust now? If you're telling me they're not, are you a bad school?
Right.
So you have to like earn the trust. So we'd only go to like a home, maybe 2 homes every day to try and tell them like, here's the school's information. Like if you want to send your kids to our school.
And where was that school?
That was in Kathmandu. It was the Safe House.
So they bring the kids down from the mountain to go to school.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So, and the Safe House was also used for like getting kids out of human trafficking.
Oh, man.
So like if they found a kid that was clearly being trafficked, they would save them. And it was, we couldn't even go to the Safe House because they wanted to protect the location of it.
Sure.
So it's this big. They showed us pictures. This big 2-story home with like rooms, and they taught kids.
So y'all were there basically to help these kids in the villages get an education.
Yeah,
man. What a great ministry.
Yeah, they really are doing good work.
Yeah, that's incredible. So you came down from the Himalayas.
Yes.
You made it out alive and well after your Indiana Jones week. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How long were your
2 weeks?
Were you gone 2 weeks, man?
And then at the last day, everyone on the trip had gotten some kind of something.
Yeah.
They were all. I don't know what they ate that I didn't eat.
Yeah, they got sick.
They got really sick on the plane. So imagine 12 hours and everyone's so sick.
But you weren't sick.
I wasn't sick. I was like, I don't know what y'all ate, but I didn't eat it.
It was good to starve for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Didn't eat anything.
Oh
wow.
Man. It was crazy.
Yeah, I remember the day you came home. I just was so happy to pick you up from the airport.
Yeah. I remember calling you before we left and being like, I'm really scared. And you're like, it's okay, you don't have to go. I was like, no, I need to go, but I'm just really scared.
I know.
I was like, okay.
I know. It made your daddy's heart
full crazy circle.
Yeah, I know. But I'm so glad you went.
Me too.
And even gladder you came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, alive and well. And you came home, you finished school, you graduated.
Yeah.
You came back, and we were fortunate that you wanted to stay with us. Because you could have gotten a job anywhere in the world and did ministry.
Yeah.
So Mom and I are just so happy that you were on our team.
Yeah.
And you had so much to our creative team and to worship and to social media and to all of our events and everything. You're just amazing. In fact, you were leading worship one Sunday, and that's how you met your husband.
I did, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? You traveled the whole world.
Yeah.
You came back to Slidell to meet your husband.
And his mom and his sister was coming to Journey. Right. Yeah. And we had some big event, big picnic.
It had
or
a
something.
baby dedication.
No, that's before.
Oh, it's before.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We were having
we had a picnic.
Yeah,
some kind of 4th of July.
Yeah,
something
like that.
And his mom and sister had said, "Hey, you should come hang out. Like we're having a big picnic."
Yeah,
and Ryan
right.
said, "Okay, I'll come," because he was very loyal to his church.
He was.
Which I really appreciate that about him.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
And he's like, "I'll come to see you guys," because he worked at a restaurant, so he never saw his family.
Right.
And that was one day that he could. So he was like, "I'll come see you, and I'll come hang out." And just that day, he said he saw me and he was like, "I'm gonna marry that girl." I was thinking, and I remember seeing him from across the parking lot, and I was like playing with some of the kids. We were, I think, throwing a ball around or something.
Yeah.
And I looked over and I see this kid with this like big cheesy smile, like looking at me in the eye. I'm like, who's that guy? Why is he smiling at me? No idea that. I was like, why is that guy smiling at me? That's weird. That's and then I went on.
It was him?
Yeah, it was him. It was Ryan. And his mom was like, if you like her, you need to ask her out on a date. And he's like, no, I am not doing that. Yeah. And so anyway, we got connected. And
how'd y'all connect? Tell us that story.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a good story. Do you want to tell it?
Okay, so Ryan's mom's like, you need to ask her on a date.
Right.
He's like, no, because I don't know. I'm gonna be weird. I don't know. Yeah. Like, I like her. I want to marry her, but I don't know. I don't want to do that.
I want to talk to her.
I don't want. Like, she might be crazy. She's a pastor's daughter. You know.
Yeah, preacher's daughters are. Yeah.
Craziness. And so his mom said, "Hey, I don't know if you're dating anybody, but my son thinks you're really pretty."
Yeah.
And then she sent me a picture of him, which is my favorite picture to this day.
So his mom was trying to set you up with her son.
I was like, I was like, okay, so
She sent you a picture of Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, well, I will friend him, but I'm not messaging him. So I friended him.
Okay.
And then he never messaged me.
Oh my gosh, he didn't answer your friend request?
Like, his mom was just trying to set me up. I was so mad. And so
you're gonna break my heart.
I know.
Yeah.
So in the background, all the girls in his family was like, she's going to think that you don't like her if you don't message her.
That's right.
And he's like, I don't want it to be weird. Yeah. Like, I don't really know her, but it should be weird. And so that a week later, he was like, hey, I'm sorry I haven't messaged you. Been really busy with work.
I've been busy.
Sure.
You're scared.
Sure. And then, and so we were talking and I was like, I don't know why, but I was like, hey, we're going to a Lion K concert. You should come with us. I don't even know this guy. Why did I do that? I don't know. I was not a boy crazy girl. No, I never had a boyfriend.
Who's your first boyfriend?
My first boyfriend. Yeah. Just never. I wanted to travel more and I wanted to see everything before I settled down. So we went to that concert and
Reliant K.
Oh
my gosh.
Yep. And it was so funny because it was an unintended triple date because it's Gabby and Noah and Josh and Renee and me and Ryan. And I was like, I did not want to go on a date. So he calls it a date. I don't think it was a date.
Well, you asked him out.
Yeah, I just invited him to come hang out.
Yeah, it was a group experience, not a date. Yeah.
Anyway, he says it was a date. But,
yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, he was in love with you.
Yeah.
His first day he saw you, he told me he wanted to marry you.
Yeah.
Later, he only told us all. And the first day he saw you.
So anyway, so we had a really quick love story. We started dating the next week, and then after that we went to vacation.
We went to
for 2 weeks. We were gone.
Yeah.
So while we were dating the first 2 weeks, I didn't even see him.
I know. Yeah.
Were
we on vacation in Tennessee?
We went to Tennessee for a week, and then we went to...
Oh, we went to DR.
The DR
for
a week.
Well, that was our trip. You know, you and I we did a trip together.
Yeah.
Which we do with all of our kids. We take them on an outreach. But because you left so early and after high school, you and I didn't get to take our trip until you got back from college. And we went to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went down there with One Child Matters. And Journey was helping build the second floor of this church to build a school.
Yes. Yeah.
It was like a day center.
Yeah.
And a feeding center.
I think it was only $6,000 too.
Yeah.
It was very.
Yeah, I think it was like that or something like that.
It was something. It wasn't like a lot of money they needed.
It was $10,000.
$10,000. That might have been it.
$10,000 to build the second floor.
Yes.
So we got to see the building going up and saw all the kids they serve. So they do homework every night with all the kids.
Yes.
It's like to
keep them safe and
to help them finish their education, and then they feed them at least 1 or 2 meals a day.
Yeah.
So we were there with One Child Matters and Gary and DSAP, who we just love so much. They're like extended family. So we're on this trip to the DR. And remember the day we visited the village?
Yes.
So there's a village inside of the capital city, and it's, I don't know, it's probably a couple square miles. It's massive. And that may not be that big, but it's big.
Yeah.
But you got to walk down into it. It's like in, undeveloped part of the city. And all the houses are like, made of lean-to tin and boards and
cardboard and
whatever they can find
whatever.
In the dump. So there's these thousands and thousands of people.
It's crazy.
Who live in these little shacks, and their families have been there for generations.
Yeah.
They raise their kids there, and then their kids raise their kids there. I don't know if I've ever been in a village that broke my heart as much as that.
Yeah.
Remember the little girl? Was it a girl or a boy that brought us to her? The little boy.
He brought us like through the little passageways.
Took me by the hand. He said, "I want to show you my house." Remember?
Yeah.
And he brought us to his little house.
He's so proud of it.
Yeah, he brought us to his little house, and it was one room, and his grandma was cooking. She had a stove with one or two burners, and she was making lunch for him.
Yeah.
And he showed us his bed.
Yeah.
But he was so proud of it.
So proud of it.
So happy.
Yeah.
He was going to get an education.
Yeah.
So was it him that told us the name of the town, or was it somebody else?
Him.
So it was written in I guess Spanish.
Yeah.
And so we said, "What's the name of this village? What does it mean?" He said, "In English, the name of our village means get out if you can."
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is it's like a life sentence when you're born in that village.
Yeah.
Get out if you can. And it's quite an experience, man.
Yeah.
Come back changed forever. But remember all the drainage is very substandard, and all the sewer, it's open sewer runs everywhere. It's like a sewage ditch, and you stepped in some poop. Remember?
Yeah.
I
was wearing not closed-toed shoes.
So we're with a group of about 15 people, and you stepped in some sewer. Yeah. And it was all over your feet. And
I was thinking,
one of the ladies, you remember one of the ladies at the bus said, "Christian, you're going to
get diphtheria." I was thinking, "Oh my God."
Christian's like, "I'm
going to get diphtheria."
He said, "Dad, we're going to get diphtheria." I said, "I don't think so." But yeah, I got it all on my feet.
Poop all over my feet.
So we told Dee and Gary, "Hey, can we go buy Christian some new shoes?"
Yeah. I made everybody stop. And go get me some shoes.
You were like,
I couldn't focus. I was all I could think about.
I can't go another step.
Was there poop on my shoes?
So we found a hose to wash off your feet. Yeah. And then Gary found, was it a Payless?
A Payless.
We had a Payless shoe store. And we went in, and you were going to get the cheapest pair of shoes they had.
And I did.
Yeah. And how much were they?
They're $40 American. like $40 US.
It was $40.
For a pair of just like
Payless.
Cheap white Payless
You can buy them
shoes.
here in Slidell for $5. Yeah. So it's like $40.
Yeah.
So I didn't have enough money in their currency to pay for it. So, and she wouldn't take my card.
Yeah.
So we had to borrow money from Gary Sapp.
Yeah.
We had to borrow $40.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary, could you loan us $40 to buy Christian some really cheap shoes? He did. He bought your shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we did pay him back later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite the experience.
That was crazy. That whole trip was just.
Yeah.
It was just.
It's life-changing.
Life-changing, yeah.
We ate at a restaurant. Remember that restaurant on the hill?
Yeah, and I think that was the life-changing part, was to see all the get out if you can, all the villages, and how sad they lived. Not sad, but how undeveloped they lived.
Yeah.
And these other people in this country are eating on the top of a mountain. I think the meal he said was like $500 a person.
Yeah.
In their currency. So I don't know what that is in American.
Yeah, but it's unaffordable for normal people.
Yeah. So it was like
in that city.
And we could see the whole country, and I couldn't even eat. I'm like, I can't eat this chicken because I just saw what's happening down there.
Most people are living on day to day. They're eating rice
and whatever they can get.
Tortillas.
So that was just really eye opening. Yeah.
It's overwhelming, and it just reminds you of how much hope the gospel brings to people. That little boy that we met, his entire hope is in Jesus because of what the church is doing for him.
Yes.
He's getting an education. He told me he's going to, I think, did he say he's going to be what did he say he's going to be?
Something like.
Yeah, he had a businessman. He wanted to be a businessman, open his own business. That's what it was. I'm going to run my own business.
Yeah.
And chances are he's going to because this church is investing in all these kids so they can start a business and get their family out of poverty,
Yeah.
So that's the hope of the church. That's why the local church is the only hope of the world.
It really is.
Because that's what God does. But I remember at night, you were still dating Ryan, and we were in our little hotel room. You and I were sharing, and you would take the phone with the long cord and go sit outside the hotel room and talk to Ryan.
Sometimes I would get bad. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I know, it's so sweet.
And I was like, Dad, I'm just going to go to the lobby. You're like, don't go to the lobby. I was like,
Christian, I don't know.
Can I go sit outside the room? Like, hey, what are you doing? I love you. What do you do?
And you guys got married within a year,
within a year. Like a year.
What's your anniversary?
Later, October 21st.
Yeah, so it's coming up real soon.
Yeah.
How many years will it be this year?
4 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think.
So you got married in 17?
2019, I think.
You got married in 2017? Or 16?
2017.
17.
Yeah, 2017.
18, 19. Yeah, this is the fourth year.
Yeah,
Got married in 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you have a baby.
Yeah, Evangeline.
Tell us about Evangeline.
She's just the perfect child.
How old is she?
She's a year old.
Oh my God.
A year and a month.
She's a year.
And she's just so happy all the time. She's such joy,
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
That baby smiles.
She is and she dances.
Oh
and
my
she
gosh.
worships.
I know
and
it. I love the video you sent me the other day where she was worshiping.
She loves that song, Child of Love.
Oh
she
my
will just,
gosh.
I play it every morning and she worships every morning.
Oh, that's so
her
precious.
thing. But she really loves being at church and being around all her
She's
family
amazing.
and her friends.
Well, that's a story about her name too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We were driving down Thompson Road one day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you were a little girl.
Actually, no, I think we were we in Thompson Road? We were somewhere.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, we were driving somewhere.
Yeah, we were driving.
And I remember I was just looking out the window and I think I saw a sign that said Evangeline on it. Mm-hmm. And I just remember God telling me, you're going to have a daughter named Evangeline. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
You even
I like
said,
that name.
You said, when I have a daughter, I'm going to name her Evangeline.
Yeah.
And back to what you were doing. It's like, you would just say these prophetic things sometimes. It was just like, wow.
Like,
that's
okay.
Yeah. So I figured you were, and you did.
And it's so funny when I was pregnant with her, everybody was wondering, like, am I going to have a boy or a girl?
Yeah.
And you're saying you're going to have a girl. I said, she's a Christian. You said you're going to have a daughter named Evangeline. I said, okay.
Yeah. What a perfect name.
Yeah, she's we call her Evie.
Y'all call her Evie.
Yeah.
I love that y'all gave the nickname Evie.
Evie.
It's kind of Ryan's secret name for her.
Yeah. Yeah. He said, okay, I like the name Evangeline. And if it's a girl, we're going to call her, if it's a girl, we're going to call her Evangeline, but I'm going to call her Evie. Yeah. Because he likes Pokemon.
I know, it's one of his favorite Pokemon.
I said, okay, that's fine.
I love that.
Evie is cute, so we'll go with it.
Much. Yeah. Well, your middle name is Elise. Mm-hmm. And I insisted that we name you Elise. Yeah. Because it was one of my favorite TV characters from the 1980s. Michael J. Fox's mom on what show was that? I can't remember the name of it.
Some kind of family.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox was the a son in the family, but his mom's name was Elise. And I always loved that name so much. Yeah. So I get Ryan's take on it.
He's like,
he loves Evie.
I gotta call her Evie.
We all call her Evie now.
It's her name.
Everybody calls her Evie.
She only gets Evangeline when she's about to get hurt. Or like, don't
Evangeline.
Fall. Evangeline.
Yeah, I know. So, she's about to walk too.
Yeah, she's so close.
Any day now.
I think she can.
Yeah.
But she's just choosing not
Why
to.
walk when people carry you?
Exactly.
Why would you go through all of that? Hey, Christian, we're going to wrap it up. We're almost done. Tell us a little bit about worship. I know you are a passionate worshiper. You play the guitar, you play keyboards, you lead worship, you write songs. Mm-hmm. Remember that prophecy you got in the middle of Orlando when that guy stopped us and said, you need to be writing songs.
You need to write songs.
What was that guy's name?
Is it John Eric?
Yeah, John Eric.
John Eric.
Who
he
works
said, we were just talking. So he looked at me and said, you need to write songs.
Yeah, because we I think we were following him on Twitter at the time. And he walked by the hotel and he said, Dad, that's John Eric, the guy that we follow. So we flagged him down. Like, we're a bunch of hicks from Southeast Louisiana. Hey, John Eric. Hey. And he stopped and talked to us for a long time. And then he gave you a prophetic word.
Yeah, he was just talking. He was just saying, I think he needed to write music.
Yeah.
I don't think he even knew.
He didn't. He never told him you led worship. And he said, you're a songwriter.
Yeah. He said,
you should be writing songs.
Yeah. And so I started writing songs.
That was a word from God because we all knew it was in you. You know, I can't wait when we start recording, you know.
We have a couple good ones.
I know. I'm so ready. You know, Kate has a studio almost ready to record. So I can't wait to record some originals. You know, but tell me what it's like to plan a service, to pick out a set of songs, and what kind of goes into that?
So it's a couple different factors. Like the first one is what the message about, or what you're wanting to talk about, or whatever kind of theme or whatever. So we try to pick out songs that go with that. Yeah. And then the second thing is who's leading worship. So like if it's Ezra or Diana or Darren or Mom, like who's going to be our leaders. Right. And so then we pick out the songs that go with their so it's really a twofold thing. We have to figure what song will be good for your message and for these people's voices. Yeah, so you kind of got to balance two worlds. Yeah, and that's really it. I mean, really just trying to figure out the sweet spot of the flow of worship. Like, okay, so we're going to start bigger and try to get people's hearts open to the message and to the worship, and then go down into worship and really have a deep, intimate moment where they can pray, go for prayer, hear what the pastor is saying in that prayer moment, and then kind of end, on a not a bigger note, but like a stronger note, maybe not so.
Worship's my favorite part of the Sunday experience. Yeah, it really, always. It's just, I don't know. It's just where you meet God.
Yeah, it really is.
It's something about corporate worship. It's elbow to elbow and arm to arm, front to back, and just a whole corporate experience. To hear other people singing, to see other people worshiping, to watch you or Ezra or Rachel, or Diana just leading out. It's just capturing.
Yeah,
it
really
I love
is.
it when Kate leads worship too.
Yeah, me too.
I'm always amazed that how many people it takes to create a Sunday experience.
It's so much.
It's just, and it's all behind the scenes, and nobody even knows what's going on. For the average attender, of how many hours of practice and rehearsal, and musicians and vocalists and the tech team and the media and the online campus and everybody just all working in harmony, man, just to do one single thing, and that is to present the gospel. Yeah. To present Jesus. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. Yeah. And I just appreciate all the hard work you do to lead us into worship, you and the team and all the musicians and the vocalists.
The team they're so great. They all get along. Everybody's just happy to be a part of the team and happy to lead people in worship.
Yeah. It shows because it's an experience.
Yeah, they practice hours by themselves at home. Yeah, they listen to music. They help pick out music.
Well, when you guys get ready to record, I can't wait to feature some original worship. We'd like to do another podcast when you guys get something you're ready to present. And not only will we present it here on the podcast, but I want to sing and worship with it on Sunday at Journey. I just feel like that it's our voice and our words and our heart. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, we're excited.
Let's wrap it up with social media.
Okay.
So you do a lot of social media. Tell us a little bit about what you do with social media.
The whole point of social media is people see Facebook, Instagram, Google, everything. They see that before they even see the church. Yeah. And we want people to feel like I could belong here, and I can get to know Jesus here, or this place has like hope for me because I can meet Jesus here because people are like me here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's really the whole goal. We just want people to feel Jesus and to feel like they can relate to other people in the church.
Man, what a very clear purpose. Yeah. We want people to be able to connect with Jesus. Yeah. And it happens right on social media.
It really does.
It's a new form of evangelism that didn't exist 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's evangelism because we're reaching thousands of people on social media. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, and people that we don't even know, or we don't know their name. Yeah. They watch our online streams. Yeah. They, see our posts, but there's people out there right now that we don't even know about that are going to come to Jesus because of social media.
And I love hearing the stories of people, and it happens all the time. Yeah. I started watching the online campus. Mm-hmm. I watched for a year or 6 months before I came, which, when when I was new in the ministry, people came to church on Sunday morning for the first time. Yeah. Now they visit online. Maybe for a year.
Yeah. And they won't say anything. They won't comment.
Yeah. So I know. And it's a great ministry. And you guys do a great job with social media.
And Kate, and that's really Kate too. Kate's doing so much.
Yeah, Kate's our media director, and Kate
online campus.
Our really online campus is
amazing.
Yeah. Since Corona started 2 years ago or whatever, Kate and Anthony and all of his team have brought our online campus presence up to
so good.
A remarkable level. We're touching lives all across the North Shore and all over the world. And it's amazing what happens.
Yeah.
Online these days.
Yeah.
Hey, I've enjoyed being with you today, Christian.
Yes.
Thank you so much
for
making some time. I know you got a baby waiting for you, so we're going to wrap it up. So thanks for joining us today here at Stories I Didn't Tell Last Sunday. I'm Doug McAllister, and this is Journey Fellowship Church's weekly podcast. If you're living somewhere nearby on the North Shore, come visit Journey. We are in Slidell, Louisiana. Download the Journey app. There's driving directions and how to prepare for a first visit. Find out more about us. Go to your app store. Type in Journey Fellowship Church in the search bar. You can download it. It's compliments of Journey. It's loaded with information to help your faith. There's past sermon series. There's small groups you can get connected with. There's driving directions and all kinds of things just to help you find your place here at Journey, because we'd love to do life with you. Or check us out at journeyfellowshipchurch.com. So for Journey Fellowship, this is Doug McAllister from Stories I Didn't Tell Last Sunday.